Okay, we're live.
Get up. You are still here. Time to get busy living. Get up. You are still here. Time to get busy living. Get up. You are still here. Time to get busy living. Get up. You are still here. Time to get busy living.
Okay, all right. It's time to rise and shine this morning in the great city of Montgomery, Alabama, with your soon-to-be. Okay, I can't. I don't want to be arrogant about this thing or anything like that. But, you never know. But with your candidate for District 3 City Council, me, Kevin Elf. Hey, a guy who don't believe in flight. I believe in fight. That's right. Fight for all the people. I feel like a politician, don't I? Okay, I guess if you're in politics, that's what you are a politician. Not really a politician, but I'm trying to be one. Okay, public policy. That's what we call it. Public policy. That's right. Anyways, it's time for our daily bread and everything right now, because that's the most important part of our show this morning, every morning, as a matter of fact. Anyways, the clock on the wall says it's 7 minutes after the hour at 7 o'clock. Right now, as you get up, it's 5 degrees cooler today than it was yesterday morning. It is 75 degrees, okay, right now. And it feels like 75 degrees, as a matter of fact. And the forecast for the rest of the day is sort of like, maybe a little rainy day, but we'll see. As a matter of fact, it's actually 74 degrees. I don't know, I always get that wrong. Cloudy this morning, a few showers developing during the afternoon. High 83 degrees today. That's pretty good. Winds are light and variable. Chances of rain, 40%. Locally heavy rainfall, though, is possible, so be careful. There's a lot of rain out there. You see a lot of water out there. Don't be driving through the water, especially driving a Toyota, okay? That weighs about 13 pounds. Don't do it. Okay? Just go around the water. Water is the most powerful thing on earth. You think you can beat it? I don't believe you can. Tonight, of course, it is sort of like last night, partly to mostly cloudy skies with scattered thunderstorms during the evening, low around 72 degrees. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain tonight, 40%. On tomorrow, 24% chance of rain, and we got pretty much the same thing. Okay, now on tomorrow, however, it is possible to have a thunderstorm or two. Of course, it's always possible to have a thunderstorm or two. That's not new news. But please, if you got a car that weighs 13 pounds, don't be trying to be Superman and go through a big old water puddle, okay? Because you'll probably drown. I'm just saying, go around the water. Or go the other way, okay? I'm just trying to give you some advice here, okay? I tried that once or twice, and it didn't work out good for me. Anyway, so, and I had a Cougar, okay? I'm big car, big Cougar. I'm still trying to figure out how to learn how to drive that big old car, but I did. It's amazing what liking women make you do. Oh, I can get that drive. Anyway, good morning to you. It's 7:09. Next up, it is our daily break, and we'll come back. You know what? I think, ladies and gentlemen, in the last couple of days, I have found out some interesting things about City Hall. Now, I'm going to share some of this with you. Because, well, I'll tell you about all that when I come back. But I have found out some things that kind of disturbed me a little bit. But nothing drastic. Well, yeah, there have been a couple of drastic things. But I'll tell you about all that later on, along with other things we'll talk about. And Pete Hegseth, according to all folks I know, Pete Hegseth is supposed to be this racist guy. I wonder why he let a black warrant officer back in the United States Army after the Biden administration got rid of him, because he didn't want to take he did not want to take the Biden shot. Now, I took the shot, but hey, I voluntarily took it. When you're going to put something in somebody's body, I think they ought to have something to say about it. We'll be back right after this. Did you take the COVID shot? I did, twice. And I'm still here to talk about it because some people are not. But, sometimes you got to take a chance on the things you don't know and have faith in God. And hopefully it all worked out. Me and Z went down and took our shot. So, can't do that now. He's grown. He can take his own shot if he wants to take them. So we'll be back right after this. Our Daily Bread, a word from on high, something that will change your perspective or give you a new one. But either way, it's good for the soul. Good morning. Time to rise and shine. You're still living. Time to get up. See you in a minute.
Get up. You are still here. Time to get busy living. Get up. You are still here. Time to get busy living.
God equips us to overcome obstacles and complete the tasks He's given us to do.
Our Daily Bread.
Today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional was written by Kirsten Holmberg. We gathered monthly to hold one another accountable to our individual goals. My friend Mary wanted to reupholster the seats of her dining room chairs before the year's end. At our November meeting, she wittily reported her progress from October. It took 10 months and 2 hours to recover my chairs. After months of not being able to obtain the materials required or find the quiet hours away from her demanding job and her toddler's needs, the project took merely 2 hours of committed work to finish. The Lord called Nehemiah to a far greater project, to bring restoration to Jerusalem after its walls had lain in ruin for 150 years. As he led the people in the labor, they experienced mockery, attacks, distraction, and temptation to sin. Yet God equipped them to stand firm, resolute in their efforts, completing a daunting task in just 52 days. Overcoming such challenges requires much more than a personal desire or goal. Nehemiah was driven by an understanding that God appointed him to the task. His sense of purpose invigorated the people to follow his leadership despite incredible opposition. When God charges us with a task, whether to repair a relationship or share what He's done in our lives, He gives us whatever skills and strength are necessary to continue in our effort to do what He's asked, no matter what challenges come our way. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Nehemiah, chapter 6, verses 1 through 9 and verse 15. When word came to Sanballat, Tobiah, Geshem the Arab, and the rest of our enemies that I had rebuilt the wall and not a gap was left in it, though up to that time I had not set the doors in the gates, Sanballat and Geshem sent me this message: "Come, let us meet together in one of the villages on the plain of Ono." But they were scheming to harm me, so I sent messengers to them with this reply: "I am carrying on a great project and cannot go down. Why should the work stop while I leave it and go down to you?" 4 times they sent me the same message, and each time I gave them the same answer. Then, the 5th time, Sanballat sent his aide to me with the same message, and in his hand was an unsealed letter in which was written: "It is reported among the nations, and Geshem says it is true, that you and the Jews are plotting to revolt, and therefore you are building the wall. Moreover, according to these reports, you are about to become their king and have even appointed prophets to make this proclamation about you in Jerusalem: there is a king in Judah. Now this report will get back to the king, so come, let us meet together." I sent him this reply: "Nothing like what you are saying is happening. You are just making it up out of your head." They were all trying to frighten us, thinking their hands will get too weak for the work and it will not be completed. But I prayed, "Now strengthen my hands." And now verse 15. So the wall was completed on the 25th of Elul in 52 days. Let's pray. Lord, please equip us with your strength to persevere and finish the tasks you've given us. May our labors bring you glory. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries. God equips us to overcome obstacles and complete the tasks He's given us to do.
Our Daily Bread.
Today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional was written by Kirsten Holmberg.
Okay, I got it.
We gathered monthly to hold one another accountable.
I got it. Let's get on back to the other thing now. Okay, I'm good. Daily Bread's good. And now, let us hear from my granddaughter and the Macmillan International Academy as they pay homage to our armed forces. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we start this show off every morning, because without those young men and ladies in uniform, willing to go all over places, even no matter who's in the White House, their lives are still put on the line. And since my son is part of that prestigious organization now, well, I have to give him support. Okay, I give him support anyway, though. But still, good morning to you. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? I'm just sitting there thinking, it's a tough world sometimes. And I just saw a video with Anthony Brock on it. Can we make Anthony Brock a principal at some local school around here? Can we just put him in charge of at least one school and see whether or not he can turn some things around? Can we put him? I think he can. But I must admit, though, I'm encouraged this year. I think it'll be the beginning of the second year for Mr. Zacharias Bird. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Dr. Bird. I think the guy's trying to do a really good job. Okay, now you're gonna always have people naysayers and stuff like that, and I've been a naysayer sometimes with people who talk the talk, don't walk the walk. But I do think this man is and as long as we can, I know Mr. Ferry is running against my good friend Lisa Keith, but I have to tell you, I think Lisa is a and Mr. Listen, Ferry, he may be a fine guy also. I don't know. I'm talked to him a couple of times. Good guy, but I want somebody willing to put a break their ankle off in somebody's butt, figuratively, not literally. Although literally sometimes would work also. Um, but I need somebody to just tell the truth and let the devil be a lie. There are lots of things that we do that I just don't quite understand. Okay, and I just don't. And I know when Pam, whatever her name was, she was running for the city. I mean, she confused the hell out of me in an interview. She just confused me. I mean, either we're gonna get discipline to our kids in school or we're not. And if we're not gonna do it, then why make them come to school anyway? Okay, they headed to jail anyway. So why? I mean, just let somebody sit in those seats that want to be there, and school starts again next month. So I'll be glad when we don't have to talk about them because we know everything is okay. Really, I'll be glad because not only does my child and your child and everybody's child need a great education, we need people to come behind them with a great education also. Because they're the workforce. Now, and I heard somebody the other day say and evidently we're going to have a longer workforce now because they said that people they're trying to get us to you can't retire till you're 70. And that's coming up pretty soon. Although I will say one thing, I think the new 70 is. I mean, listen, as long as your mind is right and you can do, and you are physically able to work, why in the world you want to retire anyway? I mean, seriously, why you want to go home and watch TV and wait for the Grim Reaper to come get you and to come get me while I'm moving? No, don't wait. Don't no sense waiting on them. You just get out there and do something because the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Okay, terrible thing to waste. Besides Jesus Christ talking to him, there's one other guy I would love to talk to in history, and that's Aristotle. Okay, and maybe Plato, Aristotle, but Aristotle, at least historically, from all that's been written and all I've read, was a very very wise man. Okay, and I would love to talk to him, and Solomon too, because Solomon seemed to be kind of wise too. I mean, whoever would have think that threatened to cut somebody's baby in half was a way to find out who the real mother was. Now, who would have thought about that? I wouldn't have thought about that. I mean, but he was wise enough to know that the real mother would say, I surrender him as opposed to hurt him. Okay. I mean, that's some good stuff. Okay, that's some good stuff. Anyway, good morning to you. Good morning. Now, a couple of days ago, listen, I got some things that I need to tell y'all today, and and I don't want to bring it up in a negative way, but there's some things going on down at town hall. I mean, at the is that what they call it? Town hall? Is that what they call it? Downtown that just needs to be highlighted. Okay, it needs to be highlighted, and everybody knows that since Stephen has been in office, I have been a supporter of his abilities. Yeah, and seriously, I still think he has the abilities to do the job. I still think he does, but I don't. I think if what I'm hearing is true, he may need a checkup from the neck up, because lately, since people found out that I'm running for city council, I am getting all kinds of stories and things, and I'm not going to go into depth with them right now. But I'm only going to say that sometimes what we think we're doing exactly the opposite. Okay. See, I like when I first made sergeant in the Army. I mean, I went around posts. I didn't have anybody tell what to do, because I was working. I mean, I had a couple of privates working under me, but yeah, I really didn't have no authority. But I thought I did. I thought I was the man. I thought I was. I mean, like I was the only sergeant on Fort Lewis or Bragg or anything like that. No, wasn't. There's a whole bunch of them. And then even I had a boss, and my boss had a boss. One thing I love about the military, everybody's got a boss. Even the guy at the top's got a boss. Okay. But at the end of the day, what we have to understand about leadership, no matter where you fall within that rung, you still have a boss. So nobody is entirely in charge. There are people who are put in charge, but who puts you in charge? And at the end of the day, as NCOs and officers have finally figured out, especially I'm hoping officers have, privates are important. Sergeants are important. Staff sergeants are important. Sergeant first class are important, but they all have a role to play. And without them playing that role, the machine don't work the way it's supposed to. The machine don't work the way it's supposed to. There was a young man whose name I'm not going to mention at the moment, but there was a young man, a bright young man, who had a job in Montgomery, and it is my understanding that he was summarily fired from his job because of words from City Hall. Not because he did anything wrong, but because he had the temerity to politically do something. I wish I could tell you, but I got to let him on. Let him on to explain what happened. But power can be seductive. It can make you think that you're a lot more important than what you really are. Like me, I went around base, trying to tell everybody what to do, and come to find out I just had enough power to get in trouble. I didn't really have any power at all. Just had the illusion. I had the illusion of power. And so that's why, as a city council person, I have actually verified this. I've actually verified this. Okay. And listen, now I hear what you're saying. Well, because somebody told me that he was going to get taken off and all that stuff. And technically, maybe he should have been, but I guess the judge here in Montgomery thought that. Listen, I knew from a practical matter, you got a couple days for an election, and you are going to take the top vote getter off the ballot. I mean, not only the top vote getter, pretty much the only vote getter, and the next guy got 4% of the votes. So I thought it was a Herculean task, but if we really were to be honest about that, and I like Tuberville because I voted for him. I like him. But on the other hand, somebody got to tell the truth. I mean, and we're gonna get into truth. So I'm gonna be careful about what I say. I'm only going to say that because you have a particular position doesn't make you God. It doesn't mean that you never can be wrong. Okay, that's why I'm going to give this individual an opportunity to come on, because what I've been hearing all week long disturbs me. It stirs me because I had higher thoughts of this individual than what people are portraying this person to be. And I said, well, and here's another thing. I understand that anytime you're in charge, you're going to have people who don't like you. I got that part. Okay. But there's a difference between not liking someone and, oh, I can handle the truth. Um, no, I mean, I like it all the time, but I can handle it like everybody else. But Willie, let me ask you a question. If you had a a platoon sergeant that a lot of things were being said about him, um, you owe it to your troops to at least investigate. You owe that to them to at least investigate the rumors and see whether or not it's only a rumor if it's not true. If it's true, then it's not a rumor. It's a fact. And I got some highly placed sources that have informed me of certain things. I'm not gonna go all into it right now. But let's just say that the environment in City Hall is tense. Okay, it's tense. It's tense at the upper echelon. It is tense. And I understand the pressure to get things done and stuff like that. I think the Montgomery City Council, for the most part, has, how can I say this? How can I say? I think the Montgomery City Council, for the most part, has, I think the words abdicated their power, their responsibility. You know, in the city of Montgomery, and according to Act 618, and according to the actions in 1973 when it first came out, it is the city council that's supposed to hold the power in Montgomery and not the mayor. The mayor's job is to carry out what the city council passes, what the city council supervises, what the city council wants done. It has seen in the last few years that the city council, for the most part, goes along with the chief executive, when in fact the chief executive supposedly worked at the behest of the city council. That's where the power is in Montgomery. And if you look at Act 618, if you look at historically the city, the county, the county commission form of government, what Montgomery used to be, or you look at the way we are now, the council and the mayor, the power is supposed to be in the city council. I mean, why in the world you need 9 people on a city council if one person is going to do everything? Okay, and that's what I don't quite understand. Like the other day, the $375 million proposal. Well, my understanding, I'm listening to most city council. Well, I didn't get a chance. I don't know about this. It just ended up on the table. Okay, all right then. That's good. And therein lies our problem with our city council. They don't really, okay. They don't really use the power that they have. And I find, I mean, is everybody intimidated? And I like the mayor. I really do. But why do we not use the tools that are at their disposal? Okay. Why don't did you know? I don't know if people know this, but did you know that the city council, any member of the city council, can initiate an investigation into any department of the city? They don't need the mayor's. They don't need the mayor's a permission or anything. They have the authority by Act 618 to do it themselves. They can initiate. You complain about something, and they have, whether it's a sanitation department, building and codes department, whatever. The city council has the authority to initiate an investigation to any department. Been there 35 years, and I don't really ever think that. Well, I don't. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's true or not. Again, why would people lie about something like that? Okay. Well, we go. Listen, I wish I could tell you what I know. I'm just not going to do it without because people think I'm playing politics here, and I'm not. Okay, because ever since the mayor has been mayor, I've supported him, and I think as an executive, I think he has the intellect to do it. He has the ability to do it, but whether or not he has the temperament, that is another question, right there. Whether or not his temperament, but I like the guy, but just because I like you, don't mean you don't do stuff that's wrong. What you want, Don? Oh, let me make sure I get this right quick. What you want, Don? Oh, lost him. Okay, good. So, and since I've been running for this office, I got people telling me things that at first I had to look at it with a jaundiced eye. I have to look at it with a sense of. I look at it with a sense of concern, but not. I'm trying to understand the motivation of where the information is coming from. Okay, what you want, Don?
You rambled on for 15 minutes now. Nobody knows what the hell you're talking about.
I know. I'm trying to.
I know you're trying to make something enlightened or whatever, but it makes no sense. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
I don't know what your conspiracy is. Nobody else does either.
I want you.
If you've got something, say what it is.
I want you to read between the lines.
Well, I can't do that.
Well,
I thought you were going to talk about the kid in Mississippi.
Yeah,
that drowned.
I'm still drowned or was drowned. I mean, I don't. I just can't.
Oh, you don't know? Have you ever been on Horn Island? You know what Horn Island is?
I don't, brother. I ain't even been past the state line to Mississippi. I wouldn't even go there for all the tea. Even my mother was born.
Well, I've been to Horn Island. It's part of the whole list of islands that are part of the Intercoastal Waterway. Mm. Yeah, tell me why the family has got a GoFundMe for $750,000.
Well, I guess.
And Tyler Perry's going to pay for the funeral.
And I guess they didn't have insurance.
Did the kid that drowned over in Millbrook the other day, does his family have a GoFundMe for $750,000?
Well, there's no reason why they can't make one. I mean, there's no reason.
There's no reason. But what's sad, you missed the point. It gets so sick and tired of people from the Southern Poverty Law Center stirring up racism every damn day to create some sort of crap so they can line their pockets.
What happened to them, though?
And people like Camilla, the rest of them will call in. Oh, we don't know what happened. Well, hell, there's a lot of people on Horn Island, huh?
Yeah, but what happened to him?
He probably drowned. It takes 4 to 6 weeks for the toxicology to come in on an autopsy. So, do you want them to just come out and say that he drowned without knowing if he was drunk or old drugs?
Well, it's just interesting.
But it works good. It works good for black people. The parents can fly all the way to New York and say, "Oh, we just want to know the fact. We just want to know the fact. Please send it to our $750,000 GoFundMe." Mm-hmm. What a piece of crap.
Well, again, I think there are lots of people who want answers. Listen, if you what you're saying that sometimes people take advantage of situations to gain money, I would think that these people wouldn't do that when the death of their child. I would. Now, if there's somebody else out there that's trying to make money on this tragedy, listen. People have always made money on tragedies, so I don't know what they're doing, but I still want to know what happened to that young man, and I still want to know what happened to him. Yeah, but we'll like Dan Morris say, in the fullness of time, we'll find out. What's up, Simply Days?
And as Paul Harvey said, and that's the rest of the story.
Yep.
Well, that's why it's a death investigation. That's why you got to get all of the information before you can call it. And, that's why sometimes, like on suicides or whatever, people, they call it too quick. And then turns out it wasn't a suicide or wasn't actually a self-inflicted overdose. It was put in there by somebody else. But, it's like the kid up at Tuscaloosa. It walked out. They'd been drinking too much, walked out of the back of the dorm down there, went across the roadway and into the river and drowned. Sometimes things happen, but we got to get all the facts first.
Mm. Well, that's true because looking at the picture, which you can't tell a whole lot about pictures, but he looked like a pretty decent kid to me. Although I will admit to you, was he the only black child there? It seemed like he was the only black kid there.
I don't know, and that's why it's an ongoing investigation, and you got to talk to witnesses, get all the facts. But good kids get off track, just like ones that get into mischief on a regular basis. But shifting gears, so what you holding out on us, Mayor? Come on.
Well, I'm not really holding out. I'm trying to wrap my head around some of the things that have been told to me lately. And I just, and it does include the mayor, not that he's done anything wrong. It's temperament that, I've never seen. And so therefore I can't deny or acknowledge if he's that way or not. But I do know, according to someone who's personally involved with this incident of a young man getting fired from his job because there was a call from the White House. Well, we call it the White House down. I call it the Brown House on this downtown. And listen, this is an impeccable source. So I'm saying to myself, so we that's how we roll. We make calls and get people fired from their job because you don't like something that somebody did. And the fact of the matter is that the people that fired them should be sued. Because again, it's an impeccable source. I'll put you that way. And the call came from the White House. Now, what I don't know is who made the call, but the call was made from under the, shall we say, the influence of the White House.
Well, just like the call was made to get rid of the two individuals at the police department that were wearing those stars and drop them down to major. Those calls
are something else.
Those calls are something else, and but the best indicator to me of future behavior is past behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And when the mayor throws a tantrum and says, "Well, if you don't pass this, then I'm gonna tell businesses not to come here, and I'm gonna send them to Birmingham."
Now he did say that. He did say that. I think he took that back.
If he took it back, but you talk about other people and their behavior and everything, and you only see, most people have three sides to them. They got a public side. That's what you see in public, and that's how they present. And then they got a private side. That's what goes on inside the house, and only the family sees that. And then some people have a secret life, and the family doesn't see it, the public doesn't see it, and then it comes out during an investigation. But shifting gears, did you see where the U.S. Marshal got killed in Alexandria, Louisiana yesterday, attempting to serve a warrant?
No, I didn't see it, but then the other things I didn't see. So tell us about it, because I read all kind of stuff, but there's too much stuff.
Well, the marshals had a fugitive task force, and they had warrants, and they were attempting to serve the warrant, and inside the house instead of taking, the course of action and saying, okay, I'm surrounded, I'm cornered, I'm going, it's over. He decided to shoot it out with them, and Marshall got killed. And that's why you never hear, it's like, that would have been breaking news. You would have known about it. The whole world would have known about it if that would have been ICE and that would have been
Well, that's true. That's
an illegal immigrant. Because that, and if they, I think, Mayor, and maybe you can help me with, maybe we can come up with another, instead of calling them ICE, maybe we could call them something else, and it wouldn't sound so cold.
cold. Yeah, that's the word.
Maybe it wouldn't sound so.
I will say one thing though. I do believe, and this is where I disagree with the president. Most of the people that they running up on, wanting to deport, we let them in. I mean, we let them in. The Biden administration let them in. Okay, there's no argument that they came here at the behest or the turning of the back of the Biden administration. Most of these people are just working. They're just working. They're working, trying to make a living. And I got a problem the way we're doing this. I just
it's the first thing. The first thing you've got to ask yourself: are they doing something wrong? Are they doing something that, whether they've been here a year, 10 years, it's just like a warrant. The warrant doesn't go away, and if you commit a crime, the warrant's there, and then it can be served by a law enforcement officer. And just because you've been here working, doing a good job, the warrant doesn't go away.
But they don't have warrants when they get here.
Well, yeah, they're fugitives because they entered the country illegally. And it's just like, if you're going to say this, that they're not here and it's not a crime and it's not this and it's not that, then just do away with all the trespassing laws. Just do away with. And why the Navy is in our Constitution is because to protect our borders, protect our shores, and you just can't let people.
And I understand that, but let me ask you a question. There are some things. Ketanji Brown, the Supreme Court judge, I can't stand most of the crap she says. As a matter of fact, I wonder often how in the hell she got on the U.S. Supreme Court. Okay, with some of the logic that she uses. But she did say something in the argument of this birthright law that I sort of agree with. And it's the only thing she's ever said she should have been on that I agree. Her premise is that the law is, the letter of the law is one thing, but the principle behind the law is another. And to her, the principle is, if you in the United States of America, you are due certain processes, certain things, because you are here. By the spirit of the law, we owe people a shot. I believe if they make it here, like Cuba. In Cuba, they got a wet land, dry land thing. If they make it to dry land, guess what? They can stay here. So
what about all those people that entered from Ellis Island and enter New York, enter ports every day, and they do it legally, and they have to follow the rules.
And I got you, and I think that's important. But however, slaves had to follow the rules too. That don't mean they wasn't treated wrongly.
No, it is exactly right. But you've got to, I mean, you can see what's going on in Europe, and if they had to go back,
well, Yeah. Listen, in the UK right now, they catching hell over there. There's obviously we have to understand that there is a inconsistency and an incompatibility with the way we live and the way certain people from certain countries live, that they don't mix. I would absolutely agree.
You've got to control the board, because when you got people that come on and you say, well, they're paying their tax. You don't know whether they're paying their taxes or not. But if they show up at a hospital, they have to treat them. and whether they've got insurance, whether they've got money, and somebody's got to pay for that.
Yeah, I agree. But
all the social services that they get signed up for, and just like the hotels up in New York, they put them up in during the Biden administration. And now there's a shortage of housing, a critical shortage of housing.
Well, that's because they keep going up on the rent in New York.
And they keep going up on the rent. And then there's no place for them to live. They're on the interstates all over the West.
Well,
but what you said about letting them come here and not knowing they're coming here and crawling. But when President Biden's administration flew them in here, the Haitian that ran over and killed a state trooper in Pennsylvania here recently was flown in by the Biden administration. Why would you fly? You got enough to cover. You got enough to say grace over of your own people and the people. Why are you flying more in here?
And I hear, but let me ask you something. Does it really make a difference where they're from if they do something bad? Whether they're homegrown or whether they come from Haiti, Cuba, Venezuela? Sometimes I think this tag of illegal alien, and I know, and technically that's exactly what they are. But we throw it around like it's a bag of doo-doo and nobody wants to touch it. It's Ketanji Brown right? Is she right? The spirit of the law, of the birthright law, it was so that people, when if they're born here, they get here. We give them a pathway to citizenship.
So if I'm not born, or what difference does it make if I go to someone's hotel, someone's business, someone's home and criminally trespass?
Nothing, but that goes to anyway. You can't trespass regardless if you're in the United States. That's a criminal offense, and I got no problem with that. If you're trespassing, are we saying? Is there anything in the immigration law that says you're trespassing if you come here illegally?
There's all sorts of stipulations that you can't. It's just like the states used to have signs up. They still got them about bringing produce from one state to another.
Yeah,
because you can spread disease and insects and everything else. You got to. You just can't have it willy nilly and just let anybody come in that wants to.
Well,
and once they're here. And then they commit a crime, and then you say, "Oh, okay, we got to give them due process and we got to let them have all of the services because they came here illegally."
Well, is it the spirit of the law that we try to enforce, or the letter of the law?
Well, when that family member of any of those victims that have been killed by those illegal immigrants that shouldn't have been here, that were released, some of them are even identified, taken into custody, and then released before they can ever have due process of the immigration system, and they just release them back out into the population.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Have you ever did you ever do traffic?
Oh, in 34 years with that police department, I did a little bit of everything and some more.
Did you ever give a guy a break even though you knew he broke the law?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Plenty of times.
Then that's the same. Then shouldn't some of these guys get a break even though we know they technically broke the law? Circumstances and mitigation require us to sometimes look the other way.
But he gave me something.
What did he give you?
He gave me information.
Oh, okay. So he's a snitch.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't a snitch. He was a confidential informant.
That's just a nice word for snitch, which I got no problem with. Yeah, because you're gonna put me in jail. Big Bubba might bend me over. I'm gonna give you something. I got no problem with that. Okay.
Well, when you get to be on the city council, you can make a motion to identify confidential informants The snitches.
Well, we,
Have a good day, man.
okay. Well, we don't want to do that. We don't want to. We don't want to. I mean, you need them because sometimes that's the only way you get evidence about somebody that's going to do something or has done something. And I just hopefully never put myself in that position where I have to be a snitch. They say stitches. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. What's going on there, Duke? I got to get a new caller today. I got to get a new caller today. Y'all wearing me out. I got to get some new people.
I hadn't called and I hadn't talked to you since last Thursday, I think.
Okay.
Okay. I had that baby get in because Steve Long-winded talking about how bad Stevie Reed is and Sid Montgomery. He's been going on and on and on.
And sometimes you long-winded.
And I know I don't talk about the mayor like that right there. I don't talk about the mayor every day. I don't even talk about Trump every day.
Everybody got an issue.
I know, but he beamed in on Reed and Montgomery and let me respond to what I heard a while ago. He said that people shouldn't come in the country, right?
We didn't say people said they shouldn't come in here illegally.
I'm about to put that part in there for you. People shouldn't come in the country, right? Illegally.
Right. You're right. I mean, I understand why they do, but right, they shouldn't.
But a lot of people don't come in illegally, right?
Well,
a lot of these people over here working didn't come over here illegally. They went over there and had these people to come here to work.
Mm-hmm.
These chicken factories and places like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Duke won't work. Because Duke
then they cut off.
Duke won't work at the chicken factory.
So what now?
Because Duke will not work at the chicken factory.
Kevin won't either, will he?
No, he won't.
Huh?
No, he won't.
Commercial not gonna work there, and Steve not gonna work there. What's your point about me?
No, I'm working there. I'm just saying that.
Why you want me to work there? Hell, I got a skill set. I know how to make a living. I know how to make a couple dollars. But what I'm saying, I don't need the skill set of clean damn chicken guts. I only learn how to do that.
So we need people to, there's no doubt about it. We need people to come who are willing to do the work that Americans have found themselves being too good to do. I understand that. And again,
what you mean too good to do? No, it's not necessarily that we're not too good to do. But they're not going to pay you for doing the work.
When the last
time, make some money.
When the last time you seen a black man on top of a roof putting down shingles?
I hadn't seen them in a while because
I ain't seen one either. But used to be.
Because why?
Why?
Know why?
Why?
Most of their bosses, the Mexican bosses, are white guys. Most of the bosses are. They go get a bunch of them and slap them up there, and the black roofers can't compete with their prices.
Okay,
well,
that's true. I agree.
But let's move on here. Some of the people somebody came in last year and said that they're gonna cut off anybody from coming in the country. People from Haiti and different places. As long as the skin was brown, damn it, they weren't allowed to come in. But the white Africans, South African people was threatened by their lives was in danger, so we had to let them come in here, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
What sense that make? Huh?
I think they're the same. I think they're the same. But I do think that the country has a right to decide who they want to come and who they don't.
I know, but when you coming in, the first thing out of your mouth is, I'm gonna be a colorblind president. But you hook up with Elon Musk and people who's in from that same area and say that, by the way, Trump said we're gonna like some white folks in here. See, we need more white people in the country. That's what he said on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kevin, speaking of, Steve said something about some police got shot and it hadn't hit the news.
U.S. Marshal.
Yeah, U.S. Marshal got killed, and he's doing his job, and that's part of the job. You might get shot back at sometimes, but when you got two ICE agents within a week. Killed somebody down in Texas and then got somebody in Maine yesterday. Both of these individuals was the wrong people, Kevin, that they shot.
Well, I don't like the way we're doing it I know we have to do what we have to do as a nation. I don't like the methodology.
Then on top of that, Calvin, on top of that,
Yeah.
they don't let the local police department be involved in it.
Yeah.
When they do ass up and shoot somebody.
Yeah.
Huh? Then they wear the mask and all. So we do need to change the name of the.
But let me. I'm going to
who
ask.
they really are.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
I'm going to ask the question that I know it's going to be redundant, but we got more black folks shooting each other every day in America than ICE is, and we don't tell about them.
But the thing is, though, Calvin.
Yeah.
These guys supposed to be the police. They're supposed to be the one to protect you and I out here.
No.
The ICE job not to ride around and have a damn mask on their head. Matter of fact, they need to change that name from ICE to what they really are. The good old boy, the white supremacists. That's what I'm gonna call them until they take
we like that
until
word,
they
white supremacy.
Until they take that mask off their face, I'm gonna be.
Let me ask you.
They're gonna be a damn Klansman, a white supremacist to me.
What if part of the ICE crew is a bunch of Hispanic people? What we gonna call?
I like to show your face. Show your face. I don't give a damn who you are. As long as you got that mask on, you're gonna be who I want you to be. Cause I can't see you. So just like you meet a girl, right?
Yeah.
And she got to dress in all kind of ways and dressing like a whore. I'm gonna call her a whore until I find out that she's not a whore. Okay.
All right.
But Kevin.
Yeah.
That Camilla Anthony case, when that black boy killed that white boy, we heard it all on the news, but there's a case going on in Mississippi right now where this young black boy
we
killed, hanging out with four white boys, hanging out with four white friends, and he's the only one came in missing on the boat.
Yeah,
Kevin,
I agree. And we don't know if he was.
Why are we not talking about that one?
We have been.
I'm talking about in the saying that these thugs. You see, if there been black boys and the white boy was missing, we don't hang out with them thugs anyhow. For them thugs, why those thugs went lawyered up all of a sudden? Stuff like that. So why these thuggish white boys had to go lawyer up, Kevin?
Well, again,
you ain't did nothing wrong. Huh?
I hear you. I don't know, but sometimes we had people who haven't done nothing wrong still end up in jail. So yeah, that.
Well, you know what get me with you though?
What's up, bro?
When I point out stuff that you conservatives or I mentioned something about somebody white, and you classified a conservative and Republican right on. You always say, everybody do it. Everybody do it. It's like somebody come tell you, come tell you that your son messed up in school.
Wait a minute.
Everybody's son does it.
It seems that our concern is not that people get shot and killed. It's if it's done.
I want you all.
Wait.
I want you all to respond the same way you responded to the other stuff.
If it's done by white people, we mad. But if it's done by
I ain't mad. No, I'm just bringing it up because your callers in these local talk shows and the national talk shows, every time somebody, like I said, I ain't know nothing about that Mel Anthony thing until I saw the end of the case. And I thought it was the black basketball player for a long time. Okay. But when the case people kept on talking about it, I said, well, they see what the hell going on with this case. So I saw about a white guy, he got shot. So same thing. If there been a white boy on the boat with four other Negroes and the white boy the only one didn't come back, go live and all the nearby states, the state of Mississippi. I know it happened in Mississippi, but what I'm saying, all the southern states would have got together and protest that thing. We need answers for this young white kid that he's a permanent white kid, uphold and go to church.
I got it. I feel you. Okay. Good morning. Yes, sir.
Did you just mention something about if you get in trouble, Big Bubba might bend you over not too long ago?
I said I don't want to go to jail because I don't want to find out.
Yeah, because ain't no might in it. He will bend you over.
I mean, I can't handle it. So I'm gonna do my best to stay out of jail.
So you better keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble, dog.
Huh?
I said, you better keep your nose clean and your head on straight, Mr. Elk Dog.
Yeah, because I don't need company. I don't need company in jail. So because they get me, I'm kind of they wear me out. I can't do it.
Yeah, because you got Bubba, Tyrone,
Yeah,
and Day up in there.
and I think Tyrone scared me more than Bubba.
Yeah, so I think Don scare you too.
Don who? Oh no, he don't scare me. No, he don't.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate it. And then there's go my good friend, Rashad. Well, good morning. Haven't heard from you in a long time, my brother. Okay, so there we go again with the racist narrative, black on black crime. White folks shoot, rob, and kill white folks at the same rate, according to the FBI statistic. Proportionately, you're wrong. You're wrong, okay? We make up 12% of the population, 52% of the murders in America, okay? So we do outdo them big time, okay? And just to be succinct about this, are we trying to keep up with them? Are we trying to kill as many of our folks as they kill their folks? I mean, is that what you're saying? That we're trying to keep up? Come on, Rashad. 12% of the population with 52% of the murders. Now, y'all can be intellectually disingenuous if you want to, but the proportionality means something. Okay? How in the hell can we do 50%, 52%? You know why we get that away with it? Because we don't want to talk about it. We got a culture of violence in our communities all over this country, not Montgomery, but in St. Louis. Yesterday, a story of 5 people killed at one time. I mean, I know it happens. Those things happen. But we make up 12%, some say 15% of the population. I think we when we killed so many of us, now we're down to 12%. So do we ignore that? Do we just ignore that because some white guy did the same thing? As a matter of fact, it would seem like to me we would be more cognizant of the fact that this many people are being killed and we don't want to be part of it. I'm just so we're not supposed to bring it up if it happened. Like one day I'm riding down the street. Some young men walking around, their pants all down, cussing and all kind of thing. The white guy looked at me in my car as if they were my kids. I said, they're not mine. I said, so don't look at me. I didn't raise them. So we get the spillover of that kind of behavior in our communities, whether we are personally involved in it or not. We get blamed. And unfortunately, good young men who are walking down the street, just having a great old time, being kids, they get blamed too because of the stupidity at some of our cultural traits in our communities now. So it ain't just me. I mean, everybody gets tainted when these kind of things go happen. Whites are twice as likely to be killed by blacks than the other way around. I would agree. I would agree. Somehow and I've asked the other day, I've been asking for a couple of weeks, how do we change the culture of violence in America, especially in the black community? How do we change that? How do we get it changed? Tomorrow, we're going to have an opportunity as candidates to go talk to That's My Child, kids over there, and won't be talking long. They're going to ask questions. I said, because That's My Child, Charles Lee, they're in the heart of the 3rd District, District 3. And I know, my thing's going to always be, how do we change the culture? How do we get you to pick up a pencil and not a gun and not a pistol? How do we get you? And evidently conflict resolution training is not working. Okay. It's not working. At least it's not working for everybody. Okay. So I'm just, and Gary asked, when's the last time a white person shot and killed someone in Montgomery? I don't know, but it doesn't happen as much as it happens in our communities. And the question is why? So how do we change that culture? We certainly don't change that culture by what the governor did. Let everybody walk around with a gun in their pocket, and they don't have to have a license. That didn't help us at all. All that did was embolden people who were 5'6" to make them think they were 6'5" when they got a gun. Okay, it's not. We already had enough problems. We really did with gun violence. The governor makes it. She signed the law. The House of Representatives did it. She signed the law that said, "Oh, well, you don't have to be accountable for carrying that gun. We don't even have to know that you have it." Well, you know what? And has anybody noticed the proliferation of shootings in the last 5-6 years or so? Anybody noticed that we're doing a hell of a lot more of it? And we got people walking down here with machine guns almost down the street. I mean, I don't know what their machine guns are now, but one looks like an AK-47 with a cutoff stock. I don't know what they are, but they're walking around with it. Okay, so tell me why. I mean, why we need that? I don't know if he's. I don't think the mayor's going to be there or not. This is for the candidates for District 3. It's tomorrow. I think it's from 5:30 to 7:30, somewhere around 5:30 to. I think it's 5:30 to 7:30, something like that. Anyway, I'm going to be over there with the rest of the 20 candidates. I'm so sure I'll probably get lost in the whole clue there. And somebody said we don't really have a race problem. We have a young person problem with no respect for law or the life of other people. Okay. Unfortunately, we openly represented in the whole gun climate in America right now. Okay. I used to make this sound. I said, well, white folks kill everybody in one day, black folks kill somebody every day. And at the end of the day, it ends up to be the same thing. People die needlessly for whatever. And my God, have anybody? We should almost ban Facebook. You know, the fights of kids, and especially black women, on Facebook fighting each other like heathens. And what really irks me is that often we have black men standing around allowing them to fight. Oh, Lord. Okay. Listen, when you cannot make me wrong, then you can always tell when somebody's lost an intellectual argument. Because then they come up with, here's Rashad, who I really like. Right? He's a good guy. Uncle Ruckus. I don't know who the hell Uncle Ruckus is, but he ain't in my family. I don't know who he is. But I heard something about him. Okay. So this is what we say. So Rashad, are you telling me that we are not overly represented by black people killing each other in America? Can you tell me that we're not? Go to the prison system, see who's in there and what they're in there for. Go to every major city in America. And if I go to their newspaper, their Facebook page, and somebody got shot last night in America. As a matter of fact, I put it up just now. Okay. Somebody got shot last night. Okay. This was a lot of people got shot last night. Okay. A lot of people. A lot of people get shot every night. And most of the time, it's somebody black. But listen, if you want to put your head in the sand and say, if I put my hand over my eyes, nobody can see me, that's good. Do you think I want my child is shot for walking down the street? I mean, honestly, do we really want that? Okay. So anyway, you can say what you want to say. I'm black. I've been black longer than you've been black. Okay. So I know I love my folks. But what I don't love is the culture that we have somehow ingratiated ourselves to. And that's this culture of violence. I can't stand that. The music is terrible. The rap stuff is terrible. We write songs about killing each other, about killing the police, all these things. And if any fool out there think that music does not play a part in the psyche of human beings, then my friend, you are up the tree without a paddle. This terrible demonistic music that we let our kids listen to. Okay. All right. I don't surprise. And another thing, whether I subscribe to it or not, I can't see it if it does not happen. I got a news feed on my thing. Give me stories like this because I just like to see how many people acting a fool out there. There are a lot of people out there acting a fool. So and y'all keep going. Y'all just irk me. You keep going back to me bringing it up rather than how to stop the culture. That's why we can't change it, because we won't talk about it. And part of our problem, of course, is a lack of daddies. Everybody's got a father. Everybody's got a father, but everybody don't have a daddy. Okay, and that's our biggest problem, because at the end of the day, it gets back to that, and we don't want to say it. We don't want to. And I hear a lot of women, "Well, I'm your mama and your daddy." Bull crap. Okay, you may be substituting for a dad, but you're not one. You're probably a good mother too, but you're not one. Women and men are different, and if you don't believe me, look between your legs and see what you got. And if you're confused about what's down there, then you may need to see a psychologist. Okay? All right? I'm just telling you, we need daddies. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Yeah, talking about it illuminates it. Talking about it illuminates the problem, because y'all keep walking around here like it ain't a problem. So it needs some illumination. It needs some light put on it. We need to see it before we can identify it. Okay, so I'm just, y'all can say what you want, and that's one of the reasons why. Hey, look up the Chicago Tribune right now. Okay, let's look up. Let's look. Look at any major city. Look up East St. Louis. What happened the other night? Look up St. Louis. Who got shot last night? You look at any major newspaper in America right now, going to the internet, some black child lost his life, at least got shot. The culture of violence in our community is worse than any community in America. And y'all can sit there and talk that BS all you want to, but it is what it is. You can't go to any town in a major city in America with an urban population, and urban just means black. With an urban population, and there's not violence. But if you can find one, please, I like to talk about it. I didn't lose anything. Yeah. Watch the video. I hear you. Mm-hmm. We make up 12% of the population of America. If you stop giving it light, it won't shine. Yes, it will, because other people will use their light. Yes, it will. It'll be there. And has anybody heard? Maybe y'all have forgotten this. Has anybody heard that the population of Montgomery is getting smaller, not bigger? And what is one of the main reasons why we are getting smaller and not bigger? Not more people here? I mean, can anybody know what the main reason that people mention for leaving Montgomery? And this is black folks too. The reason they're leaving Montgomery is because of the violence. And we're leaving most major cities. That's why Pike Road, Millbrook, Elmore County, all these places are becoming more populated with ex-Montgomery people who should live here. Now, y'all can sit there. I believe in logic and reason. Now you can argue about a reason, but you can't argue the action. Okay, you can't argue that. Logic and reason. The city is unsafe, and that's what people think. I have to give it light. You should give it light, because one thing about it, a crook don't really want to go to a place where there's light. They want to go to a place where there's darkness. Okay, they want to go to a place. Oh, this idiocy. Why I don't listen? I don't listen. Hey, listen. You can say what you want to say. You're just an excuse maker, Rashad. I love you, but you're an excuse maker. And because you deny the truth doesn't mean that it is not true. It is not true. Look, every movie. You ever notice every movie about schools on TV? Remember the one about who's the guy? Morgan Freeman. What was it? Lean on Me. The Substitute. The three. Matter of fact, The Substitute got so good they made 3 of them. And every time you see a movie and a school that is dysfunctional, who are the populace of that school? Okay, what's the population of most of these schools? All these movies are made about, talked about, that are in disrepair, that are in chaos. What is the population that is displayed by these people? Substitute 1, 2, and 3. Lean on Me, and a number of other movies have been made by bad schools. Who the population normally is Black and Hispanic. We need to change that narrative. We need to make people respect us so much that they wouldn't dare make a movie like that. Listen. Causation is you. Most of the time, if you look in the mirror, that is the cause of most of our problems. Okay, looking in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Do you got a son out there somewhere that you're not taking care of? You got a son out there that you ain't seen his name, that the only time you're going to see him if he makes it to jail? It's us. It's us. It's the individual. I don't give a crap about that causation. That's some sociology BS. Okay? And if sociologists had it all together, if the crap they teach in college was worth anything, we wouldn't have the problems that we do. They can't fix jack. Nothing. They never have, and they never will. We got a better shot of being cured by AI than we do sociologists and psychologists. Okay? As a matter of fact, they're probably going to be out of a job pretty soon because AI is going to be doing all the counseling. Okay? So I'm just telling you. And listen, you can call me anything you want to call me, but I know what I speak is incontrovertible. It is the absolute truth. Look in the mirror. That is the cause of your problems. 98% of your problems is caused by the guy that's looking back or the woman that's looking back. We are all, how does it go? We are all consequences of our decisions in life. Me too. I did some dumb things. I did some dumb things. I have. Now, am I proud of all that? Of course not. Of course not. But thank God there was some point in my life I turned around and said, you know what? Maybe I should do something else. Okay. So y'all can say what you want to say. I'm tired of hearing the excuses about why we do what we do. I'm sorry. The culture is toxic right now. Not for everybody, but for a lot of people. Who's this?
Good morning, Kevin. This is Gary Sharp. How are you?
Oh, pretty good.
I was calling in to your show because I was supposed to have been a guest on there this morning. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right, man. And you're the one I wanted to talk to.
Yeah.
Listen. Let me send you. I'm gonna bring you in the studio because I forgot about that. Mom, see that my people get me all riled up here. Let me take a break. Send you this link, and then you click on it, and they'll bring you into the studio.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks. And this is your number on the screen, right? 233.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks. And listen, I gotta take a break because I'm gonna come back with this guest, and he deals he is dealing with violence and stuff like that. So y'all just hang loose. Let me take my water break right quick. And so we'll be right back. Okay. Matter of fact, I was doing something last night, and I ran across this young man who's having a symposium about violence. As a matter of fact, and we've been talking about it a long time. I don't know if it does any good to talk about it, but we've been talking about it, and so hopefully he'll join us in a couple of minutes. You're an idiot. You know, I just, and for the life of me, you talk about logic and reason. We have lost it. We have no idea what logic is anymore, and reason is anymore. You see people get shot every night, and you say, well, don't talk about it. Does that change it? No. As a matter of fact, it's an implied consent that it's okay to do. So that's what I'm talking about. It's an implied consent. Men make up 50% of the population, but account for 98% of the murders. Talk about that. That's true, but it's in men's DNA. Okay. And listen, I thank you for giving me that compliment there, Rashad. I appreciate that. If you think it's true, you're not an idiot. You're a dumbass. I listen. Listen. At least you realize I'm here. So we good. I ain't mad at you. Okay, now let me see. Oh, there's my guest right. He got a bow tie on, man. That's pretty neat. I can't even. I've never been able to tie a bow tie in my whole life. Listen, is that one of them bow ties that come already tied, or did you tie that?
No, this is a self-tied bow tie. I tied it myself.
It looks good.
Thank you.
Anyway, I was somewhere last night on Facebook somewhere, and I saw you putting on a symposium about violence. I think, first of all, tell the people who you are, because I didn't. This is my first time meeting you, also. So tell them what are you trying to do?
My name is Gary C. Sharp, and I'm the executive director of the Family Foundation of America. And the Family Foundation, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and it was conceptualized during my doctoral studies at Boston University. Mm-hmm. And we became an organization in 2023. And it is our goal to reduce violence and homicides. That's one part of our mission. But we're also striving to reduce poverty and incarceration rates among affected communities, people who are marginalized.
Mm-hmm. Explain to me, when you use the word marginalized, what does that mean to you?
That means people who are living for one reason or another reason on the fringes of society.
Which fringe?
Well, outside of the norms of society. So people who have been, for one reason or another, it could be their fault, it could be the fault of other people, but they're probably distressed for one reason or another, economically, politically, or socially.
So basically, though, that's the human condition all over the world.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. Good luck on that one. But
however, currently we're operating in Montgomery, Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
And so you're putting on a symposium, for lack of a better word on my part, about violence.
Yes. So this evening at 6 p.m. at 1401 Jordan Street here in Montgomery, the Family Foundation of America, we're having a Parents as Peace Builders workshop. And with that workshop, we're actually teaching parents how to be more prudent parents so that we can reduce violence and homicides, or prevent violence and homicides from occurring. Because at the Family Foundation of America, one of the reasons why we were founded is because the family is the first institution created by God, the first social, political, and economic institution created by God. And so to fix so many of our social issues, we have to fix our families. And so that's what we're seeing, that families, the fabric of the families have been torn. And so we're working on fixing that.
What I have found, and I don't know if you heard a few minutes ago, I've been getting called all kind of names today because the culture that we are beginning to accept in our communities, not just in Montgomery, Alabama, I mean, across this nation. Our entertainment has become corrupt. Our schools have become dysfunctional often in our communities. And I've asked myself lately, how do we change that culture? Until we actually acknowledge one of the most important aspects of that, and that is the participation of dads, not fathers. Everybody, father is biological, but a dad is a relationship with their child, and nobody wants to talk about it. They call me all kind of names and all these kind of things, Uncle Ruckus and all that stuff, and we sit here and ignore what's right in front of us. Until we have the conversation, it's gonna be the same. You can look at any place in America right now, any city. I'm from South Bend, Indiana. Other night, I looked at my newspaper. Guess what I saw in there? Another black child getting shot.
Yeah.
It's happened. It's happened all over the place. Where in our community, white folks shoot each other too. I could, but not at the rate and the proportion that black folks do this. And I just don't know. I wish there was a magic wand to do that, but it has to start with a conversation and a realization we got problems.
Yes. So I agree with you, Kevin. We have to acknowledge the problem, and the problem is that there's been a breakdown in the families, especially in our communities, in the black communities, and there is a problem with the ism of fathers or dads, as you say. And so those are the type of issues we deal with in our workshops and our seminars, because it's always better to have a two-parent household. And so those are the types of issues we're gonna deal with.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you've been in business since 2023, right?
Yes. So the Family Foundation of America, yes, we were founded in 2023, and in 2025 we started having our workshops and our seminars here in Montgomery. And one of the things that we're focusing on, especially with the parents as peace builders, is that we've started a movement throughout America, and we want parents to just be more responsible, and that is both parents, father and mother, to be responsible for the outcomes of their children. And so anyone who come to the workshops, they'll find out and they'll learn that we give them the tools they need so that they'll have they'll engage in intentional parenting, and they will strive to keep their children on the right path so that the children can have a positive, productive, or peaceful outcomes. And so, but that is what we do.
Do you believe, and I'm not putting this on this part of our community, we as black people have more churches per capita in our community than any other group of people. We also have the most crime, the most babies, the most destruction of families in our. Is there a is that part of the cause? Have we forgotten God? We say we got the churches there?
Yes.
Have we forgotten God? Because I'm trying to understand this.
Yes. No, we haven't forgotten God, because I'm also the pastor of Grace Missionary Baptist Church. But the problem is that there are so many people who are living outside of God's order. Okay. See, because we have to understand that the family was the first institution created by God. And if you understand the Bible, you know that Satan didn't even attack humanity until humanity became a family. You know, it wasn't Adam that he was after. It was until Eve came about that Satan started to attack humanity. And so if you also notice, there are so many instances in the Bible that speaks about family and the importance of family. And so I think the problem is there are so many churches in our community. You're right about that, in our communities, but a lot of them have not focused so much of their attention on using the church, using the Bible to speak to the families and actually get the families involved in, I want to say, in things that are relevant to the families. Okay. And I think that one of the bigger problems is that there are so many ideas and concepts that are used in churches that laypersons do not understand. And sometimes leadership in churches do not fully explain some of the terminology, you know, like the concepts of love and respect and decency and honor and sanctity. And so we've gotten away from the teaching, and there's so much preaching going on, but there's not a lot of just hard truth, as you say. So first you have to tell the truth, you identify the problem, and then we have to focus our attention on solutions and come take those solutions directly to the family, because that is what is important to God. God wants our families to be healed. God wants us to be peaceful and productive. He wants us to be positive. So that is the direction that we have to go in. And I'm going to say this as well. We have to understand that parents are our most influential and our most important leaders in life. Oftentimes, people will turn their children over to schools, turn their children over to coaches or people at nonprofit organizations. But there's no one more important in your life, in your physical life, than parents. And so we have to fix parents, make improvements to parents, and thereby improve families.
Why do you think it's so difficult to have that conversation about parenting? Why do you think it? And I gotta say, it's probably because of a lack of manhood. Us as men doing what we need to do. Because God put us in charge.
Yes.
And we have surrendered that to the government. And often I hear, well, the white man did it because he gave us a check, and we got no man has ever made another man leave his family. No man has ever done that. But we use that as an excuse, you know. I mean, I was like everybody. Unfortunately, I was born in 1957, so this is not a new thing. It's a continuing thing, because I saw my father one time in my whole life, just once. But I knew one thing for sure. I was going to love my boys, and love them forever, and always tell them that I love them, and smack them when I needed to.
Yes.
You know, we don't seem to. And if you look at some of the writings this morning, you're an idiot. Your name is Uncle Ruckus. I mean, listen, I just caught up, all because if we don't deal with this problem, Montgomery is losing citizens. Not only Montgomery, Birmingham, every place. Everybody, we got the name of Montgomery, we got the name Birmingham, but most of the people are now living in suburbs outside Birmingham, outside Montgomery now. And all around us, we are, pretty soon we're gonna have one little village. It's gonna be called Montgomery. Okay. And so what do we do about this culture? Is it possible to change it?
Yes, it is. It's absolutely possible. And that's what we're doing at the Family Foundation of America with our Parents as Peace Builders workshops and seminars. But I want to say this as well. The best way to solve a problem is to take full responsibility for the problem. Every person that has a job, their job involves solving problems for other people oftentimes, but these are problems that they have not created themselves. But the problem that we see with some people who are very irresponsible is that they don't want to take full, like I say, responsibility for their actions, or even for the actions of other people who came before them or their contemporaries. But we have to put ourselves in a position so that we'll be problem solvers and fix some of the cultural issues that you're speaking of. When we talk about culture, sometimes, and this is just one term, but most of the time when you talk about culture, most people don't understand that culture just means a way of life. Okay. And so if they don't start by understanding that concept and the definition of that concept, then it'll be hard to fix it. And so if we have a way of life that is detrimental to life, detrimental to freedom, detrimental to us being housed or having food on the table or clothes on our backs, then we need to identify that, say what it is, figure out how we're going to fix it. And so at the Family Foundation of America, that is what we've done. Like we sit down and we come up with solutions to some of the most pressing social problems that we're facing, not only in Montgomery, but throughout the United States as well.
Well, I don't have a PhD in it, but I reached the same conclusion years ago.
Yes.
Okay, because it's logic and reason. If you want something to be positive, you have to put something positive in.
That's right.
Okay, you can't do the same thing. But why do you believe it's? And first of all, tell us where your place is going to have your thing. Is it tonight?
Yes, it is tonight. It'll be here in our sanctuary at Grace Missionary Baptist Church. Our address is 1401 Jordan Street in Montgomery, Alabama, 361.
Uh-oh, you still there? Hello. Won't you tell me your name? Okay then. Well, I'll wait till his internet catches up with his phone there. Are you still there? Well, I don't know where Jordan Street is, but it's somewhere. It's somewhere around here. Anyway, correct parents have abdicated their responsibilities. We have. I'll see if the preacher gets back on here in a minute. If he gets a connection, he evidently he's got a little weak connection into his phone thing there. So we're gonna see if he gets back on. Anyway, this guy, his PhD in his work. I don't have a PhD. I reached the same conclusion that he has, and we can evidently we have a hard time dealing with the truth, Rashad. And this guy studied this. I didn't need to study it. I've lived it. Okay. And until we acknowledge our issues, we ain't gonna fix this. We're gonna be left with all the scraps, and our culture needs a restart. Okay. You remember when your mama told you that if you don't leave this house without looking good. Okay, you don't leave this house unless you look a certain kind of way. And I always remember my mother told us, remember what your name is. Remember what your last name is. Everybody in South Bend knew the crazy family. It was the Browns. The Browns were crazy as hell. Okay, everybody knew. If you remember the Brown family, we went the other way. If we saw you, we went the other way because we knew your whole family's crazy as hell. Okay, well, that's the way people look at us. Oh, you're going to go to Montgomery? Ooh, they got a lot of violence over there. Well, all they know is what they hear. And somebody said, even a lie has some truth in it. Okay? That's why a good joke is a joke that tells the truth in a different kind of way. All right? I don't know what happened to the pastor there, but I'm going to see if I'm going to make sure I can put his thing if I get him back here. Let me see. Let me see what happened to the brother right quick. I think it's his phone lost its connection to the internet. Okay. Well, we got him on the audio line. This time. Grace Missionary Baptist Church. Go ahead. Hey, tell the folks your name again.
Okay, I'm Dr. Gary C. Sharp, and I'm the Executive Director of the Family Foundation of America.
Okay, the Family Foundation of America, Dr. Sharp. And again, that address you gave me, give it to me again so I can put it on the line.
Yes, so it's 1401 Jordan Street.
That's Jordan?
Yes. Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay.
36108, and our website address is www.pffoa.net.
PFFOA or 08?
OA, the letter A.
Okay.
.net.
So that's pffoa.net.
T as in time. T.
Oh, T. Okay.
Yeah, tffoa.net.
Okay. tffoa.net. Okay, and the phone number where people can reach you if they want to talk to you?
Yes, it's 334-523-1063.
I would imagine that you have an opportunity to go to school sometimes and talk to kids and stuff like that. Or do you?
We haven't in Montgomery, not yet.
Okay. Well, we need to get somebody. We need to figure out a way to get us back in touch with the goodness of our souls and the goodness of the people we are. And it's a funny thing. Our people went through slavery, getting murdered for things, being denied this and denied that. And the thing that's going to hurt us most is what we do to each other. We are a resilient people.
That's right.
But unfortunately, we don't seem to be able to to figure this one out. And and I'm glad you got your organization here. So I'm going to make sure I tell. And that's tonight at what time is it?
Tonight at 6 p.m.
Okay. I'm going to make sure that I put this on the video here or something so people can know where you are. And and again, let me make sure I write the name of the organization down correctly. What the name of the organization is?
The Family Foundation of America.
Family Foundation
of
America.
And we're having a Parents as Peace Builders workshop.
Okay, and that is tonight, and that address is on. I got it right here. Is on. What did I do with it? What did I do with the address? 1401 Jordan.
Yes.
At 6 p.m. Tonight.
Yes, and we're trying to get as many people out and involved as we possibly can, because what we're trying to do, as I said, we're trying to improve parenting and improve families so that we'll have better outcomes. So we're going directly to the source, and we're trying to make improvements so that our entire communities can be improved as well.
Well, I thank you for your hard work and what you're doing, and you have taken on a task.
Yes, yes, by God's grace.
Yeah. You're taking on the task, and you know what? I'm a believer in God and His power, and He can make anything happen.
That's right.
But you got to believe.
That's right.
You got to believe. So I'm going to put your information on the line here and tell people about it before I go off you got a website. The website is let me write that website down one more time.
Yes. www.tffoa.net.
Okay, put all that on the line here, and we will. Thank you.
Yes.
John,
thank you so much, Kevin. We appreciate it.
Not a problem. We need to hear you. We need to have you on at least once a month.
Yes. So I will definitely do that.
So we can talk about these things. Hey.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Anyway, so now the fact that I didn't have a PhD in this stuff and I reached the same conclusion means I'm really a bright guy. Okay. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. Good. Thank you, Connie. Appreciate that. This is the organization right here. Grace Missionary Baptist Church, 1401 Jordan Street, Montgomery, Alabama. 6:00 tonight. They're having a meet. It's in the Washington Park community. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And that number again is he gave me the number here a few minutes ago. Let me see. Is it 523-1063? I hope that's what it is anyway. I think that's what, let me see. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Anyway, you can find him. Connie, if you can put his number up there again, and I'll make sure I put it back up there too. If every parent took care of their children, the way God has instructed us to, then our problem would, we don't disagree with that. That's true. And for a community that has so many churches, you would think that we would have the most serene, halcyonic community in every city in America. But we have made a hobby of putting up buildings, calling them churches. Okay, yeah, we've done that. I guess that's the only thing we can get a loan on, So God, I don't know, but everybody agrees with that. But I know, but they rather call me names and all that kind of stuff. And when we got a cultural problem, we have a cultural problem, and we need to fix it real quick. Man, didn't I just get done talking to you a few minutes ago?
Talked to me early this morning, son. But I want to commend your guest, the guy you had on.
Mm-hmm.
I like you. I love his passion and what he's aiming to do.
Yeah.
But until we reach these mothers of these kids.
Or the father more important than the mother.
But the thing is, see, the father don't live in the house.
He don't have to live in the house. I didn't live in the house with my child. You don't have to live in the house.
Let me tell you something, Kevin. Let me tell you something now.
You can still take care of your kids.
These women nowadays. Now you got a few of them that can handle these kids, these boys.
They can't handle them at all.
If that daddy not around, that mama this boy gonna talk back to mama. So what mama does, she start out as when the kid is young, giving them anything he or she wants. Okay, giving them all they want. So when they get to be close to teenagers, they want to be the friend instead of parents. They haven't taught them right from wrong. Probably never spanked them. I ain't spanking back child.
I think. But hold on. Let's wait. The warrior of our species is the man. His job is to.
There you go. But what I'm saying now, these women don't have fathers. They got baby daddies. Okay, these guys that.
And that's the daddy. And that's the daddy's fault.
But no. But what I'm saying now, he's not involved in the child's life because his mom don't get along.
It doesn't make
the mom does not. The mom don't get along with the woman. The mom don't get along with the daddy. So
evidently he got along with her. He got along with her long enough to make a baby.
But here's the issue though. When he's trying to have a relationship with the child, the woman mad because he left her for another woman or whatever reason. She mad with the daddy. So she's gonna punish him by not letting him see the child. Stuff like that. I got friends that going through that right now. The idiot women out here.
Everybody's going through that. Yeah, everybody's going through that.
They don't care what you run to DHR all you want to come out. She won't let me see the child, so I'm paying child support. Nope. That woman still got control of the child, and she's gonna say things to turn the child against the daddy and all that stuff.
And that is why. Well, wait a minute. Don't talk to her. That is why the people that supposedly represent us in the House of Representatives, they make the laws. The city council don't make laws. They make the law. We got to be careful of who we put in office, because all that's going to take care of a law that said when that man comes to pick up his child, unknowing of any other reasoning, according to that court order, you let that go, or else you're going to jail that day.
So bottom line, Kevin, I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. Bottom line, Kevin, is the fact that these women cannot do shit with these boys. Period. Okay, and these boys gonna talk back to them until they get in jail. When they get in jail, locked up, they crying. I seen the one on TV crying the other day and carrying on because they threatening my life in the jail. They threatening my life down here and all this mess. See, but mama just threatened to beat the hell out of him at the house. See, mama should have threatened to kill him at the house first.
Yeah,
before the boys in the street.
But mama shouldn't have to do it all by herself. And I realize even if mama,
she got to allow daddy to come in and be a whatever kind of relationship they have. But if you got women out there that's selling the bodies to those strange men, anybody, and get pregnant by one of these men that you selling cat to and everything. So you know they ain't got no relationship with the dad and the mom ain't got no relationship because they had a sex relationship.
It takes a man to actively participate in that process freely.
I know that, but damn it, the woman, she ain't got to gap her ass open.
Okay, you ain't got to go in there.
Well, y'all said men, you know, we just say
you ain't got to go there because they're open. My mama said when nothing open.
I know that, but what I'm saying, but she know she ain't on the pill. She know she ain't.
Well, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? You should figure out.
And he got a condom on, but the condom broke.
Okay, we beyond that now. The child is here.
The condom breaks, Calvin. The condom breaks now. You know that.
But we beyond that now. The child is here. It is your responsibility.
I know that, but what I'm saying is the crazy mama don't want the daddy to see the child.
Then what you need to do is make sure you talk to a woman, get a woman that ain't crazy. But if you do get one that happens to be crazy, that still does not.
Well, Cal, we got a new level of craziness nowadays. I see these damn women on TikTok just fighting one another.
I seen them.
You have TikTok. You have TikTok, Kevin.
Yeah, I can't believe what I see. I just can't.
Hey, I said something to TikTok. This guy broke it down better for me. Do you have TikTok? I'm gonna send it back to you.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Okay, I sent it to you yesterday. Please, this guy Clip, he summed it all up. But we talking about how these mamas can't trying to raise these boys. This dude, him been in prison,
But
so
it ain't
he
her
talking to these
job,
young kids.
right? But it ain't her job to try to raise them. It's man's job to raise his boys.
The government, damn it, put her in charge.
Mama just supposed to feed
Government said that mama gonna run the house and daddy gonna pay toward the house.
I got you, brother. Let me take one more out of here in a minute. Good morning,
Mayor. Until you change the level of acceptance, what a community accepts. Look at last year. 61 homicides in Montgomery. Guess how many they had in Huntsville?
How many?
21. With a larger population than Montgomery.
That's still too many, but yeah.
Still too many, but with a larger population. But what's the difference?
I think the attitude, and when I go to Huntsville, which is rare, when I go to Huntsville, I feel like I'm not even in Alabama. It's a place that's progressive. Most people that got good jobs. That rocket science thing is really real. It's up there. so it's a great place to live, it seems.
But you go 100 miles south to Birmingham, and then there's a difference in expectation of
again, it's culture. It's an acceptance of a certain culture, and that's our main problem. Most places because I'm pretty sure they got towns in America that have black administrators and they run well. I guarantee.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah. So,
but why doesn't the city? And here's a question: why doesn't the city of Montgomery release their homicide data by race?
Because we don't need it released. We know what it is.
No. For Rashad, you need to, for Rashad's purposes.
Oh yeah,
and
I'm going to have to do.
The state,
yeah, I'm to do. Yeah.
The state of Alabama had to get on to the city of Montgomery about reporting their crime data. Because and see, this is what happens when you try to, like you said, keep your head stuck in the sand.
Yeah.
When you don't acknowledge it.
Yep. Just because you close your eyes don't mean it ain't happening.
Well, I just want to close and tell Brother Duke that I got on Todd Strange's case. I'm continuing to get on Todd Strange's case. And if you put on those big boy pants and get in the frying pan, it's going to get hot.
Yeah, that's true.
Have a good day.
Appreciate it. Someone said rocket scientists are in Huntsville, not postal science. What does that mean? That's what I said. They got a rocket scientist. That's why it's a whole different attitude up there. It's a whole different attitude. It's like you're not even in Alabama when you go through there. I mean, it's a great place. Mom should let the young men reside with the father if they're not together. I don't know about that. I don't know. At a certain age, I agree with you. I think once they reach the age of puberty, they need to stay with the dad. Because mama, it's gonna be hard to. They're gonna be hard to handle. Whew. You wasn't how problematic being outside abroad. What does that say? Your own admission, you saw once. He wasn't in the house. Problematic being outside about whatever. Okay, you got me on that one. He wasn't in the house. Oh yeah, it was a problem. And for our whole life, this is the number to the family. Let me make sure I get this right. The family 1401 Jordan. What the family? Let me make sure I get this right, man. My family Foundation of America. That's their number right there. And so give them a call. They got something going on that. I'm going to play this again later on, and so you guys can be before I'm probably around 3:00 or so. So you'll have the opportunity to get to all this information again if you want to participate in the forum tonight about the family. Okay. Anyway, cool. We keep trying change the word family. We think we got to figure out what a family entails: a male and a female in some capacity. Okay, not a male and a male, not a female and a female, but a male and a female in some capacity. Okay, because last time I checked, two of the same can't make the same. I'm just saying, we might need to rethink our deal on family. Okay. Now, once you're old enough to make your own decision about what you want to do, that's all up to you. But when you bring children into the process, it changes the dynamics of family altogether. All right. Anyway, let's take a break. We'll tell you. Did I not tell you the lesson of life today? There is a failure is always looked upon as something being bad, right? It's always looked upon as something being bad, but it's not necessarily so. And the lesson of life today would be this. Okay. Here we go right here. Okay. And you got to remember this, because this is going to do you well. It's going to do you well as you go along the way. Okay. Which is right here. Failure has a silver lining sometimes. It is the only real evidence that you had the courage to try. And I got to tell you, like running for this race on this city council seat, it's the only evidence that if I fail, if I don't make it, so be it. But I'm not going to quit, not going to give up, going to hang in there and see what happens. And tonight, of course, at That's My Dog, it's on, I think, Lower Wetumpka Road, Upper Wetumpka Road, Lower Wetumpka Road. Anyway, Charles Lee and his people, they're going to have a lot of the candidates over there, just so the kids can ask questions too. I'm waiting for my question. Oh yeah, I'm going to wait for my question right there. I'm going to see what I can do. What life pearl I can leave with those young people today. I've always wanted to talk to young people. I did it one time a couple of years ago at That's My Dog, but I had to come up with something that's really outstanding. So I'll be thinking about that all day long. If I get asked a question? Now they may ask me, Elk Dog, what's it like jumping out of an airplane? I said, well, it's kind of like living. You don't know what's going to happen till you jump out the door. It's kind of like that. That's what jumping out of an airplane is. What was it like to serve with the United States Army Rangers, or with that perilous unit called the 82nd Airborne? Yeah. I got to do a resume. That looks good on there. They're probably going to ask me things. What was it like wearing that black beret? What was it like going places that you still can't tell people about? Well, you'll have to join to find out. Okay? Again, failure has a silver lining. And if all else fails, it shows that you had the gumption, the temerity, the will to try. So with that said, it's time for me to go, and for you to remember my famous last words every day. Most of the time when I remember it about some things in life. It is not the falling down that gives us the strength. It is getting up each and every time we fall. Falling is not bad. Sitting down there is. So my word for you today, keep getting up. Don't sit there. And failure is not that bad. It's sometimes. It does show that you have the willingness to try. And sometimes my mother used to say, nothing beats a failure but a try. There's somebody else. Are you going to answer the question, or are you going to call the kids stupid? they've never jumped out of airplanes, so how can I call them stupid, my friend? I only call people stupid that really are stupid. Okay? I don't call kids stupid. But grown folks ought to have sense enough to know some things, and if they don't, they're a little bit stupid. Yeah, I ain't taking that back. There are some people that are actually stupid. I call it like I see them. Hey, have a great day.
Every trial with lessons wrapped tight in every shadow, you are my light. Thank you, Lord, for the laughter and tears, for the strength you give in all my fears, in the rhythm of my heart. I hear your call with grateful songs. I rise above all. Through storms that rage and skies of blue, each day